What's going on, guys? Welcome to another podcast of Iconic Entertainment. It's your boy Michael Jordan, and I'm gonna go ahead and talk about some WWE content. So today, I want to discuss with the 2024 WWE Draft, of course. I'm gonna start off with the Raw roster. So of course we got Becky Lynch. She actually got drafted back over to Raw. We have Damian Priest. He got drafted back over to Raw. We have Sami Zayn as the Intercontinental Champion. He got drafted back over to Raw. Imperium, Damage Control, CM Punk, Braun Strowman, LWO, Drew McIntyre, Ilya Dragunov. I feel like that was an excellent pick for them to draft him over to Raw as well. The Judgment Day, they're back over on Raw as well. Lyra Vakra, she got drafted over to Raw. Big Bronson Reed, Jay Uso, which was the number one pick of the WWE draft, of course. So a lot of these, they were mainly just stay where they act. I kind of seen it coming to where they was really going to go. Actually, because dealing with the fact of what kind of storyline that they got set up for them, probably, and then of course, it's just they got something lined up for them, so that's probably why they did it the way they did it. So it was just like a few really that got switched over to the other roster or whatnot, but not many. Most of them really just remained at the main roster. um let's see, then of course we have Seth Rollins. Braun Breaker, I really like that pick. I felt like Braun Breaker was a great pickup for Raw to have him come over from NXT, of course. So great, excellent pickup. Um, Liv Morgan, she's back on Raw, of course. Of course, they would leave her over there, dealing with the fact with her and Rhea Ripley with the feud that they got going on and everything. So that's going to continue to heat up. So I personally see something going with that, literally. Then of course we got Ricochet. He got drafted back on Raw. Sheamus, Alpha Academy, they remained on Raw as well. Fire and Aladon, but pretty cool. I don't mind it. This is decent. Kiana James, which she would happen to be the first one from NXT to actually get drafted over to the main roster. So shout out to Kiana James. So she should do pretty good things over on Raw. Then of course we got Shayna Baszler. She actually back on Raw. Zoe Stark, of course. The Creed brothers. The new Catch Republic, which is Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. I really like this tag team, just to deal with the fact because they were like the original NXT UK superstars back when they had the tournament when NXT UK first started up, and it was Wolfgang, Mark Andrews, a bunch of those great superstars and everything. So it was really kind of cool to actually see them come together to really see them in the tag division or whatnot, and to go up against all these amazing tag teams and everything. So hopefully down the long run, they eventually end up winning a tag team title, because I can personally see it. They are just two amazing superstars with a lot of potential, you know. Then of course we have Dijak. He's from NXT, of course. He actually got drafted on Raw. Some of these picks, they were actually done after, kind of like after the SmackDown and Raw was over. So like when they could happen to continue with the draft, even when the draft was over, they happened to continue to, you know, draft like certain people and everything. So it was like the after effect or whatnot. Kaden Carter and Katana, so they're back over on Raw. Natalia, I personally felt that Natalia, she probably should have stayed on NXT, because I mean, like this just me personally. Like Natalia, she hasn't been the same since she had debuted in WWE. Like when she first came in like around 2014, she was doing the thing, made her name for herself or whatnot. So she had something going, but she just haven't been the same since. Now, as far as year goes, I wouldn't be able to point that out for real, but she fell off a long time ago, just in my honest opinion. And I felt like when she was over on NXT, what I'm saying, it was like she was kind of like starting fresh or whatnot, to like get her name back out there and everything and be relevant, what I'm saying, like how she was when she first debuted, but we haven't seen that. What I'm saying? We haven't seen that. So it just has not been the same for Natalia or whatnot. So I felt like that was a little bit too early for her to just go up and just leave to go over on Raw. But they chose her, so here we are. Also, I want to continue. So another superstar got drafted named Odyssey Jones. I'm personally not familiar with this wrestler, so if you guys happen to know who that is, maybe you can, fill in the gaps for me because I have not seen him on NXT or whatnot. So I'm really not familiar with any of his fighting skills or whatnot, or his character persona or whatnot when he comes out and everything. So yeah, y'all will have to bring me up to speed on that superstar particularly. Um, let's see. I think that was about it. But yeah, like I said, guys, they're not bad. I actually appreciate the results that we have for the WWE Raw draft. So yeah, it wasn't no big issue to me. The SmackDown roster, I'm gonna go ahead and get into this draft real quick. This was actually the first startup before the Raw roster, but I'm just going off of how they got it set up here online. So the SmackDown roster, they have of course Cody Rhodes. They drafted him back over to SmackDown, so he's no longer on Raw, of course. Then of course they drafted Bayley. Bayley, she's back on SmackDown. A-Town Down, of course, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, they're over on SmackDown. Logan Paul, which is the United States champion, he's back on SmackDown. Jade Cargill, she remained where she was at, along with her and Bianca Belair, because need to keep that tag team together, So it wouldn't have been no point of them, having her go to Raw when not when she's already in a tag, relationship with Bianca Belair, of course. So that was just, it just made sense. Of course, we had Kevin Owens. He's over on SmackDown. He remained where he was at. We have Tiffany Stratton. She remained on SmackDown. I really got big things I could see Tiffany Stratton doing because her future is so bright. So she's particularly really going to be a future world champion eventually. And with her being so talented, it's just it can just anything is possible. Like literally, like to be honest with you, I can personally see her winning the Money in the Bank. Like once we get down that road, when that pay-per-view comes, I'm picking her as my top pick to win that Money in the Bank personally. You know what I'm saying? And then of course she goes to WrestleMania and then she happened to cash in her Money in the Bank. But that's just my theory though. But personally, I see her doing amazing things, in on SmackDown, of course, because I've been following her ever since NXT. And when I remember when I first, seen her in our match and everything on NXT, I just knew that she was going to blow up and just be an amazing superstar that she is now, So really big kudos to Tiffany Stratton for, remaining on SmackDown. Then of course we got Naomi. She's remained on SmackDown, of course. Shinsuke Nakamura. Then we have Blair Davenport. So I did not see that one coming, but they happen to draft her over on SmackDown, so that's pretty cool. DIY, they actually over on SmackDown now, so they're no longer on Raw, so should be pretty interesting. Then of course we have the Pride, which is Bobby Lashley, B-Fab, and the Street Profits, of course, Montez Ford, and of course Angelo Dawkins. So not bad, you know what I'm saying? Smart pickup for real. Let me see who else we got in here. Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell. I like that tag team group. At that time when they first, was wasn't really, seeing eye to eye, of course, because Indy Hartwell, she really just didn't like the direction that, Candice was going about, the opponents that she was facing, as far as Maxine Dupree and of course Ivy Nile, of course, so at first she just wasn't on board or whatnot, so it took her time to really just like give in and to be a part of the heel that Candice LeRae is, so now that they on board or whatnot, it's gonna be more interesting where this thing really goes, so hopefully they remain as a tag group. Personally, for a minute I thought Indy Hartwell was gonna end up departing away from Candice LeRae, but she happened to stay in everything, because that's her friend, of course, and her tag partner, so it's cool. So maybe we continue to see where, this tag group goes. Also, we have LA Knight. He's over on SmackDown. Nia Jax over on SmackDown. I personally, now I don't know how many of you feel about Nia Jax, but see, I'm a Nia Jax fan, so I really hope with her being on SmackDown that Triple H actually give her a chance to become a champion and whatnot, because she's just very dominant, with her being a powerhouse. What I'm saying, it's so many things they can just really do with Nia Jax or whatnot, So I really just hope that they don't miss the opportunity of, having her become a champion and everything. But, personally, I really wanted her to be champion a little bit before WrestleMania, of course, when she was going up against Rhea Ripley, in that rivalry, of course. But I mean, she wasn't able to pull it off, so we was left with Rhea Ripley as the champion, of course. But like I said, it's fine. Like I said, hopefully down the long run, they happen to make Nia Jax a champion and everything. Even if it's not for this year, maybe sometime next year, they can have something in the storyline set up to where, she, eventually becomes champion or something. Why not? But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. Hang on 1 second, guys. Okay. So, yep, another pick, Carmelo Hayes. Great pickup coming from NXT. Of course, I could see him as a future champion, of course, because he did amazing things when he was over on NXT. So I felt like that was an excellent pickup. AJ Styles, he remained on SmackDown. Baron Corbin, he's actually over on SmackDown. It kind of sucks that he's not with his tag partner Braun Breaker no more. So now they're with them being on separate brands. It's like they gotta go their separate ways and everything. But hopefully this go around with Baron Corbin, he's able to develop a little bit better than he did, before when he was that happy Corbin and stuff like that. So now he's back to his. It's like he back to his old self, back when he was the Lone Wolf. Like that's the Baron Corbin I always liked, and hopefully they remain with this Baron Corbin that we have now. You know what I'm saying? Because he did an amazing job when he was tagged up with Braun Breaker, of course. So hopefully this go around. You know what I'm saying? He happened to win like a United States title or something like that. Or they happen to have it place him in like one of the matchups where he end up going for the world title or whatnot. But I truly see his development now. It's better than it was before. Same thing with Drew McIntyre. Remember, Drew McIntyre was in that same boat. Like Drew McIntyre, back when he was the 3MB, of course, like he wasn't. He was just irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? But then he went to NXT to redevelop himself, and then now we're able to see his true colors, his actual talent and everything, and how he's able to become the wrestler that he is now. Even though right now he's being a bit of a crybaby with CM Punk, letting him get in the skin and whatnot, but he's still an amazing superstar, of course. Let me continue on with this list. I only have a few names left in here. So we have the Bloodline. They remained on SmackDown, of course, which that's going to continue to get more interesting as we see how that storyline thickens. Then, of course, we have Apollo Crews. He's back over on SmackDown. Hopefully, hopefully Apollo Crews able to like find, what I'm saying, find his old self or whatnot back when, what I'm saying, because Apollo hasn't been good in a very long time. So hopefully Apollo has something there to where, he can, get back on top and to be that beast that he was before, you know what I'm saying? Because he's a very athletic, athlete, superstar, whatnot, but it's just he hasn't been the same in a while, you know what I'm saying? So it's like he gotta find that. He need to find that, deep down inside him, you know what I'm saying, where the amazing high flying skills, kind of like what's his name? Keith Lee, kind of like how Keith Lee was, right? So like how Keith Lee was the high flyer and everything, athletic or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So, and Apollo Crews kind of like got that similarity as Keith Lee. You know what I'm saying? But he has to, go back and like find those, those skills that he had before, because like I say, it's back to the title all over again. You have to, find your niche, find which, that's going to make you good. You know what I'm saying? Find what's going to forget good. Find what's going to make you great. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Apollo Crews really needs to find. He needs to find himself. You know what I'm saying? But as I continue on, we have the OC. They're actually over on SmackDown. Then we have Giovanni Vinci, which was, of course, a part of Imperium. But now that he's now no longer in the group, they actually got him over on SmackDown. And then, of course, we have Andrade. And I think I said Randy Orton already. And then we got Pretty Deadly. And then we have... Yep, and that's it. Yep, that's it. So like I say, pretty cool lineup, man. Pretty amazing draft. I enjoy it for what it is. So hopefully we're able to see these, superstars continue on with their past or whatever storyline that they have set up for them, in the works or whatnot. But personally, like I said, I feel like the draft was pretty good. If I was to get a draft a rating, I'll probably give it about a 9, probably. Maybe a 9.5 at the most. But like I say, I enjoyed it, and it's really interesting, and then they actually, picked up a lot of NXT superstars that I wasn't even actually expecting, of course, so it's really cool to see them now coming over to the main roster. The main superstar that I know for a fact, if she wasn't champion, she actually would have probably been the one of the, like, probably in the first round, like how Kiana James was, which of course is Roxanne Perez. But like I say, if she wasn't champion, I know definitely she probably would have been over on Raw. But since she's champion, of course she has to remain on NXT, of course, unless they had it to where she get drafted and then she just happens to relinquish her title or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember they actually had, I think Shayna Baszler was like that before, because she had the title for so long when she was on NXT, like nobody could defeat her. So she ended up having to relinquish the title when she had got drafted over to the main roster. But like I said, guys, it's cool draft. Like I said, I enjoy it. And then of course, maybe we continue to see what WWE has next for all these, superstars and whatnot. And may they continue on and, you know what I'm saying, and do their thing, because it's a lot of these superstars I really like. The main superstars I'm looking to return, of course, is Charlotte Flair. Then of course, what's another one? I don't see Adam Cole coming back, but he probably, because he over on AEW. But I mean, it'll be cool to actually see him come back. But I would say probably Charlotte. She like number one, of course, on my brain that I would really want to see come back to the main roster. But is it supposed? I put up though in my stories, of course, on Facebook, that she's been really working like on her ankle and everything. So her recovery is coming very well. So it's looking pretty good. So hopefully we get to see her a little bit before SummerSlam. They probably place her in the works or whatnot, where they want to put her, as far as the roster goes. Oh, and then of course, I'm gonna be excited once Roman Reigns come back, because of course, it's been posters and everything talking about as far as Roman Reigns coming back a little bit before SummerSlam and everything. So that should be very, very interesting, especially with everything going on with the bloodline, with Solo Sikoa, being the tribal chief now, as the bloodline and everything else. But yeah, let me know what you guys actually think about the WWE draft. Did you like it? Did you didn't like it? What superstars that you really didn't care to get drafted to, or was it somebody that you was actually looking for to actually get drafted to the main roster? Let me know in the comment section down below. Of course, you always know you can like, subscribe, and share here at Iconic Entertainment. Of course, there's more videos to come. Tune in, and this has been another podcast. I'm out.